Have you ever wondered why you always wake up at the same time in the morning, as if something or someone is calling you? And the strangest thing, this happens repeatedly, as if it were a spiritual alarm clock that no one else hears. Only you feel it. These awakenings are no coincidence. They are signs, called, alerts from the universe, from God, from the higher plane. And today, in this video, you will understand the truth that no one has ever told you about it. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. isn't random. It's the beginning of something bigger happening inside you. And it may be that your calling has already begun, and you didn't even realize it. If this has ever happened to you, if this message touches your heart in just the first few seconds, leave a like right now, subscribe to the channel to be part of this collective awakening, and comment below with faith and power. I answer the call. Have you ever noticed that you frequently wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. for no apparent reason? The environment is silent, the house is peaceful, but something inside you awakens, as if someone is calling you. And maybe you even felt a slight chill or a sense of presence around you. The truth is that this schedule is not random. It is deeply spiritual. On the energetic plane, this period is known as time of the thin veil, where the barrier between the physical and spiritual world is more subtle. It is in this interval that many awaken, even without knowing that they are being called. It's not insomnia, it's no coincidence. It is the beginning of a spiritual activation process that begins in silence, in the middle of the night. The chosen ones feel this before they understand. They wake up confused, anxious, or even scared, but over time they realize that they are being prepared for something bigger. God does not call the qualified, He empowers the called. And if you frequently wake up at this time, yes, it's because the calling is happening to you. While the world sleeps, the spiritual works. Early mornings are sacred moments where the physical world slows down and the spiritual field intensifies. If you are constantly awake at this time, it is not because your mind wants rest, but because your soul is awake. She is being guided by something that not everyone can feel. These awakenings are alerts, signs, invitations to connect. The spiritual world uses this moment to try to remind you of who you are, what you came here to do. It's not just about awakening the body, it's your consciousness that is being activated. And the silence of the early morning becomes the ideal frequency for you to hear what you would never hear during the noise of the day. Maybe you've already noticed this. In some of these awakenings, you felt like praying, reflecting on life, or even crying. This is not weakness, it is spiritual cleansing, it's preparation. The chosen are called at a time when the world is not looking, because it is at this moment that spiritual truth can touch the heart without distractions. The exact time you wake up could be carrying direct meaning from the divine plan. For example, waking up at 3 a.m. can be linked to intense spiritual battles. Waking up at 4 a.m. can be a sign of alignment with your soul mission, and waking up at 5 a.m. can represent a call for immediate action, awakening literally to a new cycle. Nothing is by chance when it comes to the chosen ones. God speaks through numbers, signs, and even times, and the more you ignore that calling, the stronger it becomes. Your spirit recognizes the code, even if your mind is still trying to understand it. Therefore, many people report always waking up at the same minute, night after night. This hour code could be a password from heaven, a constant reminder that something is about to change. And most importantly, it is always a personal calling. It's the universe saying, "Wake up, I need you awake now." And if you feel this, it is already in the activation process. The reason why not everyone goes through this is simple. Not everyone was separated for this mission. The chosen ones carry a different frequency. Your spiritual bodies are more sensitive. Therefore, they feel before, suffer before, awaken before. And yes, they are pressured first. This spiritual pressure often presents itself as insomnia, weight on the shoulders, sadness for no reason, or even strange sensations in the body. But this is all part of the process. You are being unlocked from within. Your soul is in alignment with something higher, and this force needs your body to be awake, to act. While most sleep, the chosen are awakened, because they are spiritual warriors. They are messengers. They are the ones who carry the light in times of darkness. Waking up in the middle of the night is just the beginning of the call, and those who understand this begin to realize that their journey has never been ordinary. Have you ever noticed how everything becomes clearer in the early hours of the morning? Your thoughts, your feelings, your memories. It is in this silence that God whispers most loudly, and the chosen ones are the first to listen. But many still don't know what to do with this sensitivity. They think they are anxious, that are broken, that they are alone. But they aren't. The silence of the early morning is, in fact, a field of direct communication with the divine, a frequency where God, angels, and spiritual signs can manifest with intensity. And the more you listen with your heart, the more you understand that you are never alone in these times. You wake up because it's the only time your soul can hear without interference. The whole world is sleeping, and that is where God acts in secret. If you feel heavy waking up at this time, pray. If you feel distress, meditate. If you feel peace, be grateful. Everything is an answer. Everything is a spiritual conversation. If you've ever woken up in the middle of the night and had the distinct feeling that you weren't alone, no, you're not going crazy. This sensation is one of the most common spiritual experiences among the chosen. The air seems thicker, the environment carries a different weight, and something inside you awakens. Not fear, but awareness. You are feeling the approach of a spiritual presence, and most of the time, this presence is protective, not threatening. These invisible presences are like sentinels of the divine plan, who walk alongside you since birth. Sometimes they are angels, spirit guides, or even the calling energy itself trying to communicate. They manifest in silence when the world sleeps, because at that moment the spiritual frequency is cleaner, more pure. You are awakened to receive something, an intuition, a revelation, or even a spiritual deliverance. Many try to ignore this presence. They turn on the light, use their cell phone, try to go back to sleep quickly. But the truth is that this moment is precious. It is at this moment that your spirit is more awake than ever. The presence you feel is not physical, but your soul recognizes it. It's a reunion between dimensions where heaven touches earth and you are the point of contact. Instead of running away, learn to welcome. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and silently ask, "What do I need to hear right now?" And then listen. Maybe there won't be an immediate answer, but you will realize that there is a comfort, a subtle strength that fills your heart. This is faith in action. It's pure connection. It's the universe saying, "You are not alone." Many chosen ones think that these repetitive awakenings are a problem, a curse, or some other disorder. But what almost no one understands is that this is a silent training of the soul. Every time you wake up at dawn, without even knowing it, you are being spiritually tuned. It is as if your soul is preparing to bear, understand, and carry more light. Waking up several times a week or for months at a time may seem tiring, but it is during these vigils that your spirit is awakened to your mission. While the body tries to resist, the spirit is increasingly alert. And this doesn't happen to everyone, only to those who have a greater role to play in this plan. It is a sign that you are in the process of spiritual alignment, and your awakening is deepening. You begin to realize that sleep is no longer the same, that your body is still tired, but your mind is starting to clear, that your dreams are more vivid, more symbolic, that you wake up and already feel like reflecting, praying, writing, or even crying. These are all internal responses to the ongoing spiritual process. It's as if your soul is clearing out everything that no longer serves you to make room for what's to come. This quiet, solitary training is a blessing in disguise. You're not breaking, you're being shaped. You are not being punished, you are being stoned. And every awakening in the middle of the night is a reminder that the call is growing stronger. Frequently waking up at dawn is not a sign of imbalance, but of active spiritual transformation. Knowing that these awakenings are spiritual signs is the first step. But what to do when they happen? Most people try to go back to sleep quickly, without realizing that this moment can be one of the most powerful of the day. The chosen ones, upon recognizing these signs, must respond to the call with awareness, and there are simple rituals that can transform this moment into pure divine connection. The first ritual is that of sacred silence. When you wake up, remain silent for a few minutes. Don't pick up your cell phone, don't get distracted, just breathe and feel. Ask your spirit what it is trying to tell you. This simple gesture completely changes the frequency of your morning. Silence becomes the portal to the spiritual, and you begin to access subtle messages that the noise of the day prevents you from hearing. Another important ritual is the alignment prayer. It doesn't have to be long or formal. Just be honest. Say, I am listening. I am awake. I accept the call. This small prayer works as an unlock, a signal to the universe that you are spiritually available. Over time, you will notice that you wake up less tired, more lucid, and with a peace that is difficult to explain. If you want to go deeper, light a white candle with the intention of light, or keep a protective stone, such as amethyst or rose quartz, next to your bed. These tools are not magic, but they help ground your energy in this process. The most important thing is your attitude. You are not a victim of the early hours. You are a chosen one being awakened by a mission few would understand. And now that you know this, how will you respond to the call? It's no coincidence. When you wake up at the same time in the morning, night after night, the universe is sending you a direct signal. These specific times, like 3 a.m., 3:33 a.m., or 4 a.m., carry deep spiritual weight. It is as if an internal spiritual clock was programmed to activate your consciousness at that very moment. And the truth is, the more you try to ignore it, the more frequent this awakening becomes. In ancient spiritual wisdom, these hours are known as the hours of the thin veil. Between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., the physical plane and the spiritual plane become almost one. It's as if God, your angels, or your guides are saying, now is the time, I need you to be aware. It's not punishment, it is direct communication between heaven and you. You are being summoned to access messages that can only be understood in the silence of the early morning. And why the same time? Because the universe is intentional. When you are woken up at the same time every time, your spirit is being conditioned to pay attention. It's intuitive training. Your body awakens, but it is your soul that is being called. And behind that there are codes, numbers, sensations, signs that keep repeating themselves until you stop doubting and start really listening. It is at this point that the spiritual call intensifies. Many see the clock as an ordinary machine, but the chosen ones know time is a spiritual language. The sacred hours of dawn are like vibrational portals that open, even if you don't see it. And when the universe sees that you are ready, it sets off this invisible alarm clock, so that even without understanding it, you begin to remember your soul has a contract, a mission, a light, and now the time has come to activate it. This statement may sound strong, but it's real. Waking up at dawn can save your soul. The reason? It is at this time that the most intense spiritual battles are happening. While the world sleeps, there are invisible wars being fought. And the chosen ones are awakened not to suffer, but to protect themselves, intercede, and often prevent something terrible from happening, to themselves or to those they love. What most people don't know is that spiritual attacks are most common in the early hours of the morning. Disturbed spirits, negative energies, spiritual oppression, everything circulates more freely during this period. But the chosen, those who carry light, are awakened as spiritual sentinels. Even without realizing it, by awakening and connecting with the sacred, you break cycles of destruction, deflect invisible arrows, cancel words launched in the dark. How many times have you woken up with your heart racing, sweating, feeling like something had just happened? This is not just physiology, it is the spiritual reflection of a battle won. Sometimes, the simple fact that you opened your eyes at that moment was enough to nullify an attack. You were used as an instrument of light. Your awakening is the victory of good over darkness, silent but powerful. And what's more, many chosen ones, when they wake up in these moments, feel inexplicable impulses to pray, cry, sing, or just be grateful. This impulse is the Spirit speaking directly to your soul. Don't ignore it. Even if you don't understand, respond to the call with humility and courage. Waking up at dawn can be uncomfortable, but when you understand the hidden side of this experience, everything changes. You are not just a sleepless human being, you are a waking spiritual warrior. Have you ever wondered why, among so many moments of the day, it is precisely at dawn that you wake up? There is a reason behind this. Waking up during this period is not just a biological phenomenon, it is a veiled spiritual teaching. When your soul awakens before the world wakes up, it is because you are being trained to live above the ordinary. You are being spiritually educated to perceive what physical eyes will never see. Every time you wake up at this sacred time, the universe is calling you to pay attention to something essential. Your mission is slowly being revealed. Maybe you feel like writing, reflecting, or just being silent. All of this is part of a process of expanding consciousness. Early morning silences the noise of the world, and it is in this silence that the deepest truths manifest themselves. This awakening may also be God's way of saying, you are ready for more. Waking up every day at the same time is not a mistake. It is a sacred cycle that began to teach you about spiritual vigilance, energetic sensitivity, and attunement to the truth. Many of the greatest prophets, spiritual leaders, and divine messengers have reported similar experiences. And now it's happening to you. So the next time you wake up, don't complain. Listen, notice what you feel, pay attention to the signs. Often, dawn is the only time of the day when the sky can speak to you without interference. What seems like just a physical discomfort is actually a spiritual lesson, and you are being asked to pay attention. What the world calls insomnia, the chosen ones call divine summons. When you always wake up at the same time in the morning, it's not a coincidence, it's a calling, a silent reminder that there is something much greater prepared for you. Waking up is the first awakening, the beginning of spiritual activation. The body lifts, but it is the soul that is moving. It's as if heaven is telling you, you are ready to remember who you really are. This call does not come with applause or with angels knocking on your door. He is subtle. It comes as a nuisance, a pattern, a sequence of awakenings that seem random, but are part of a greater invisible plan. You are not being punished for waking up. He is being summoned, because the chosen are awakened before the rest of the world, so that they align with divine timing, not human timing. What's more, many ignore this call because they don't know how to interpret it. They go back to sleep, fight it, take medication, get distracted by social media. But the chosen ones, the true chosen ones, know, they feel there is a holy discomfort that cannot be explained. Waking up at 3 a.m. is not bad luck, it's a cosmic code. And those who pay attention to it begin to see life from a different perspective. Do you feel like something inside you is different? That there is an impulse calling you to something greater? So understand, physical awakening is a reflection of your spiritual awakening. You don't wake up to live the same life. You wake up to fulfill an eternal purpose, and that's just the first step. Now that you understand that these awakenings are not random, the question arises, what to do when this happens? The answer is simple but powerful. Prepare to listen, feel, and record. Whenever you wake up at this sacred time, keep a notebook next to your bed because the universe will start giving you answers you didn't even know you were looking for. Pray, meditate, breathe deeply, feel the presence that is with you. Don't be distracted by your cell phone or television. This is a moment between you and the divine, a space where your soul and God meet without interference. Take the opportunity to ask, thank, or simply listen. Sometimes the answer you've been waiting for comes in the form of intuition, in the silence of the early morning. You can also use this time for spiritual protection. Many chosen ones report that when they begin to pray at this time, they feel immediate peace. Others cry, some write, others just close their eyes and feel a welcoming presence. The most important thing is, don't waste this moment. It is a gift, a portal, a cosmic alignment that few recognize. Over time, these moments begin to reveal patterns. You will notice signs, names, dates, phrases, symbols. Your spiritual connection will intensify. You will not just wake up, you will awaken. And when that happens, you'll be closer than ever to your ultimate purpose. Waking up is the signal. Acting conscientiously is your next step. Have you ever wondered why only some people wake up at the same time every morning while others continue to sleep soundly? The answer lies at the level of consciousness and spiritual mission of each soul. Not everyone is called to see beyond the veil. Not everyone has the necessary spiritual sensitivity to receive divine messages during the silence of dawn. But you do. You feel. You listen. You know there's something else going on. While many sleep with their souls asleep, trapped in the cycles of matter and mundane routine, the chosen ones are awakened because they carry a greater spiritual responsibility. Waking up at this time is not an anomaly. It is a sign that your spirit is being activated, realigned, and led to fulfill a calling that goes beyond ego, vanity, and earthly achievements. You were separated, even if you didn't ask for it, and now he is being trained. This difference does not make you superior, but more aware. You are like a spiritual antenna that picks up what others miss. When everyone rests, you are being prepared. This may seem lonely, tiring, and even unfair, but it is necessary. The greatest messengers of light experience this type of silent call, which woke them night after night, until they could understand their real identity. So, accept this difference. Honor this gift. Because what today seems like just a sleeping pattern is actually an alignment between your soul and the divine clock. You were chosen to awaken while the world still sleeps. And it is precisely this early awakening that will make him a light for those who still live in darkness. There will come a time, and you will feel it, when the nighttime awakenings will lessen or even stop altogether. But make no mistake, this is not a sign of spiritual abandonment. Rather, it is confirmation that your soul has absorbed what it needs. The cycle of waking up at the same time, night after night, served its purpose. You have gone through the silent training, and now you are ready to act. This end of the cycle is a spiritual milestone. It's as if the universe says, "You heard. You understood. Now it's time to live." At this point, you will notice that many pieces start to fall into place. Things that previously confused you start to make sense. Situations that seemed random now seem to be connected by an invisible thread. The awakening stopped being an alert and became a new phase, the mission phase. But be careful. Many, when they realize that they have stopped waking up at dawn, think that they have lost their connection with the spiritual. This is a mistake. What actually happened is that your soul entered a new stage. Silence is now within you. The peace that used to only come at 3 a.m. now accompanies you throughout the day. You have become part of the calling itself. You are no longer just receiving, You are manifesting. This is the most important moment in the journey of the chosen ones. When the night-waking cycle stops, it's time to act. It's time to live intentionally. Everything that was revealed in the silences of dawn must now be put into practice. You have been trained, shaped, and now you are ready to fulfill your mission. The spiritual journey is not over. It just changed phase.